Yeah, this is, oh, I've got to press that automatically myself now. Okay. Oh, it's been so long since I've done it. Hi there, welcome to Purity Music. My name is Austin and I'm going to take you on a little trip at the moment. It's been a long time since I've said from my little channel trailer that you've seen that I'm going to do one thing and another, and I've done hardly any of it, and then even then further and further between them. But here we are, here now, and I'm going to take you on guitar M.O.Ts. So just a small series, just going through the guitars that I have on my wall, and I'm just going to give them a bit of TLC because they all need it. There's certain things I won't be able to do in here because I don't have the tools in here, but one thing I'm going to just say before you go ahead and do any live streaming or anything like that, before you press that go button, especially if you're using a different mic you've never used before, check your batteries, people, check your batteries. So my Lavalier batteries ran out. What a surprise. It's always going to be something. So I'm just going to carry on. I've got the chat running here, so if you have anything to say or any questions, please put them in here. I've made that so that hopefully I can see it. I do apologise for clicking keyboard. So as I go, as I continue here in the in my office here, I'm going to go through what we have. So I'm going to be repairing stuff and doing everything on my desk here, but you will have a shot of that thanks to my lovely camera, and you'll get a shot down there of bits of me going on the screen. So I'm not an egomaniac. It's just so I know what's going on. Now, more than likely you'll see this post live. You know, probably won't have anybody live. I just wanted to get myself back on the bandwagon. So as well as that view, might get a view here at some point. This is a view that I will use now and then with desk and computer stuff. And then camera 4. Yes, I've got 4 cameras. I used to have 3 for those of you that know me. But we'll add this one as well, especially when it comes to sometimes play testing, but we'll also do that from here anyway. So using the Marshall triple super lead with my line 6 Pod HD 500. Sometimes we may end up, I mean, you might be able to see it. Yeah, sometimes we might plug something into the rack and run it through the mixer and the speakers up there. But I suppose while we're on this camera, this is a good time. This is when you're going to miss my head. Good time to say this is the guitar we're going to use today. This is the guitar. This is an Epiphone Les Paul Custom, and it is, I mean, if I bring you up to the next camera, you'll see that it is in need of, well, cleaning amongst anything else. It is a bit on the dirty side. Now when you're putting these things on the desk, I do suggest one of these lovely blocks. Very, very handy. That way at least we can put it right on there. There you go, and you'll be able to see just about every point. Now, because I'm lazy, I'm going to sit down, because sitting down is quite handy. So we'll get to do most of everything through here. Every now and then you're going to hear a click, probably from my keyboard, where I change the view, because I use my keyboard for that, rather than Stream Deck, because I don't have one, because I haven't been streaming. I would have done this a couple of days ago. Just a few things that I have for these jobs. I've got my trusty iFixit kit. That's the 64-bit version, which is handy. I had to get myself another one of these because I've lost it. This is a standard luthier tool which has got the notches in it, which is for checking the straightness of your neck. We will go through that at some point. I've got a few other little bits and bobs which are very, very handy when it comes to doing the guitars. I have a string pitch ruler, so that will help me. So you've got the, it's called Fritz ruler, yeah, but this is for the string action, and then you've got pitches as well on the back. You can probably make out all the different little angles and things like that. Another little tool I've got, which will help a lot, is that. Yes, it's a funny non-triangle piece of metal. This is a fret rocker, and each edge is perfectly straight. So for those frets that are further apart, you can basically check. So when you've got 3 frets, for instance, if one in the middle is slightly higher, it will rock. So on a bass especially, or bigger instruments, it will rock. Once they're flat, that won't happen, but you know, every time, and once you get to the smaller, the frets that are closer together, you use the smallest edge. Very handy little tools these are. I don't tend to use the ruler. I just, you know, I don't measure the action so much as put it where I'm happy with it. So, but Now, one thing I will say, the way I'm going to do this today is not necessarily the way that you should do it. It's the way that I've always done my guitars, what I've done with my guitars over the years, and it's worked for me. It's served me well in every way. Now, one thing we won't get to here anyway, if I ever do them, is with the frets. I normally take them to my garage, but it's obviously the weather's getting a bit rubbish at the moment, so half of this I won't be able to do. Let's lift that up a bit so I can get to it. So that's the handy thing, you can pitch this up, you can make, get this thing out of the way, but it just keeps this neck block is just very, very handy. Just keeps plenty of space under there so you can do what you need to do. I've got my, because I have carpal tunnel, which a lot of guitarists as they get a bit older suffer from that, and I've had bad surgeries, that's, you can see it, you might be able to see a tiny scar. That's what it's supposed to look like. That's not. It's caused all manner of nerve ending damage and stuff like that, so it has affected me a lot. But there you go, that's just me, boo-hoo. Right, so this is just, this tool here, just, it'll just be, you might be able to hear that. Just basically tunes the string down. Now, when I'm doing these jobs, I do tend to remove the strings completely, especially when it's a job where I'm cleaning out the entire guitar. I'm going to be doing a lot with this, so I would hope that I've got my my cutters in here. I'm starting to wonder where I actually do. So, well, let's have a look. So, I've usually got a few tools lying around. I suppose in a lot of ways I should have played the guitar before I took the strings off, so you knew what it was like. But hey, there you go. Like I said, it's not planned. I'm just getting right into it. So, but we'll see. So I'm a bit of a go in and hack it all off. So I'm literally going to take all of this out. Now, remember your configuration of your guitar. Now, there's no hard and fast rules with the bridge that you have the screws facing that way or that way. It doesn't really matter. As long as the saddles are the correct way, you're okay. Now, I don't know if I've ever done any of this to this guitar since I got it, to be honest with you. It's got the Darios on it. They are my string of choice. They are well and truly stuck in there. That is for sure. But all of this, all the hardware, all needs a good clean. Might have to poke some things in there to get these out. So yeah, that is well and truly stuck in there. I noticed that the music has just stopped running. Don't know particularly why, unless I've got an issue with my internet. Shouldn't be. I am paying for the 1 gigness with Virgin, so that doesn't mean a thing. You know what Virgin can be like, all these companies. So yeah, I've definitely changed these before, so I'll put that there, and I will take the saddles off, and I am going to put those where I'm expecting them. Now, it looks like the music's coming through. It's definitely controlling it. It's just turned off, and now suddenly I can't hear it. I don't know why that is. I mean, yeah, I tend to, half the time this works, grab all the strings. I'll know if I've done them before, if I've put new strings on this. Yeah, I have. I've definitely put new strings on this at some point. So, there we go. So, I'm starting to think, I remember some things that I usually have on me during these jobs. Let's take those ones out of the way, because that one wants to be a pain, which again is usual. So obviously I've spent a bit of time, because I do like to kind of, because I do this as well for a living. I do like to kind of time myself so I know how long it's going on. So I don't know how long I've been waffling for. Everybody shouts, too long! And all you really want to hear is what the guitar ends up sounding like. So most of you will probably skip to the end. but I like to give the opportunity, should somebody join, the opportunity for someone to ask a question. Now, one thing I didn't bring was a little spanner. I think I've got a spanner in my little box here. I would like to think I have, because if I have, I had an adjustable spanner, which would have been really handy for the bolts, the neck bolts, which is something I usually have here. But I must have taken it back to the garage. Oh, well, that was handy. I've got my cleaning implements. Got those. Yeah, so you can't see what I'm looking at. Got a protractor there. I'm not quite sure why I've got a protractor, but okay. Yeah, that's slightly irritating. Okay, two sets of those. So one thing I do want to do is check the neck. Now what you do is you get the right side. Oh, did I choose the right one? No, I did. Depending on your scale length will be depending on whether this sits in there. So it usually fits from the second fret down, because obviously you're measuring the neck. And what you want to do, there'll be a gap. So this is going to be difficult to show. But if I put that way round, I think this is this way round. So I get onto the second fret so that it's there, and there'll be a gap, and you're looking for the gap, especially in the middle at this particular point. And does it rock? Is it lifting? So is it higher in the middle, which means this would rock like that? That means you've got an overbow. Or if there's a big gap, which there's a tiny gap, then you've got an underbow. Now, I call that relief. Now, obviously, once the strings are on there, the truss rod, which is the bar that tightens from down here, from up here, pulls the neck so that the neck will go that way. Now, the strings will obviously pull the neck this way. So there's like a fulcrum effect happening between, at this point, for the neck, you know, between this point and the bridge. So there's like a pivot point. And because this is a stronger section, it will bend from around here more than anywhere, because this is the section between here and here. So that's what you've got to check, and that's what you're normally looking for. So obviously that's not going to help me if I have that way round, because, you know, I need to do what I need to do. So I'll try and keep that all in shot for you. So yeah, so from the second fret, where am I going? No, I'm doing it wrong. Is it from the first fret on this one? No, it is the second fret. What am I doing? Oh, there you go. I was being blind for a second. So from this, you know, going at this end, I can see that there's a slight. Now, if I press down on here, if you listen, so if I press that down there and hit it, that's what it should sound like. But, and if I do it here, that one's not so bad. Gets slightly louder. Right, that means there's a slight twist. There's a slight warp in this. So this is something that we'll have to address. So now the tightness of the strings will do that a bit. It will be a slight twist. So these ones, although tighter, won't pull. Although the higher strings, like the high E, the thinnest string, will pull the neck, it won't pull it as much as the thickest strings will. So obviously there's a bit of a gap here. There's a bit of a, you know, so, but it will kind of twist and ring. So let's just grab a small screwdriver from my trusty iFixit kit. And we're gonna, you know, I mean, this is gonna be, you know, helpful just to take out the screws for the truss rod anyway. That's helpful. They don't even want to come out fully. Don't you just love it? I don't know why the music's gone off. Let me see if I can get that playing again. Oh, I know why. I know why. It never did stop. It's my sound system. Because I've got it on so quiet here, it goes quiet. So in a minute it'll probably blare. There it is. So you can hear it. You've been able to hear it the entire time. It's just my sound, my speaker system. Right, there we go. So now, because I want to clean all of this, I want to clean under all of this as much as possible. So I'm actually, you know, we'll get back to the neck, because in one sense there's no point in doing it straight away. So I can clean under everything. I'm going to take everything off. Just lift it out. Just have a look under everything, give everything a blow, because there's bound to be loose wood and stuff like that. I've not done any of this. And then once I've done the body, I will put everything back. So there's our lovely pickup. Epiphone branded. Nice and simple. Not much to write home about in there. But we need to give these pickups a good clean. So all these screws should be the same for the most part usually. And hello to whoever is watching. I can see we've got somebody watching. Feel free to say hello in the chat. Ask any questions like what on earth are you doing, or what are you talking about? Feel free. If you're new to anything to do with guitars, and again, like I say, there's always a question. No such thing as a silly question. So, but yeah, I'm just doing something that I love, like I used to in the good old days. I know some of you that might come on here will know me from my Retro Rescue days. Now, the Retro Rescue channel is sort of there again, but I don't do anything on there. I'm just posting up old videos after YouTube managed to delete all my videos. Although I'd gone private on the account, there we go, it looks all nice and neat in there. They deleted everything that was on my channel, and then the hard drive that had all of the videos on it went kaputski, which is never good. So yeah, it went totally kaput, and I couldn't retain. I had to spend a bit of money to get back about 1/3 of the amount of videos, and there was about 700 videos. So yeah, and that wasn't a fun time. But hey, I think there's a bolt behind this one, which is going to make things really awkward. Yeah, that's right, there's a bolt on that one. Oh, I forgot about that. So this is best to just take this off completely. Now some of you are probably going to ask, oh, what are you using to clean it? I'm using Mr. Sheen. Because I don't... A cleaning fluid's a cleaning fluid. You know, don't get bogged down spending money on silly fluids and stuff like that. You know, it's really, really, really dumb. Right, so sometimes I use lemon oil on the body, but oh, these are tight. Oh, well, maybe I won't get these off. I got a plastic spudger. I've got pencils and I've got other plastic things. And I've got a credit card. Is that going to be enough to... No, that ain't going to be enough. If you're wondering why I've suddenly got just a credit card out of nowhere, that's to make a plectrum out of. I've got a plectrumy makery thingy. Here we go. Let's, there we go. One. Oh no. 2. Oh no. I must have loosened that one. I just got myself a good grip. Okay. Should have brought myself a spudger. Oh, I'll tell you what. This might be. No. I don't want to mark the body. Given the choice, I'd rather not. It wants to move. There you go. Just got to have the right amount. There you go. Lovely. So all of this stuff, all the hardware, all of it. I mean, this is, like I say, this is a full breakdown and clean for the most part. I'm not undoing any wiring. I just want to, you know, we're obviously the controls, if they're a bit crunchy, I'll take the back off. I'll put some contact cleaner in. I've got some polishing compound. I'm going to polish up all the parts. So yeah, so because I'm not taking pickups out, that's just dumb to start even attempting to do that. I would though, however, like to know what happened to my little little spanner. Ah, ha ha ha! I found it. Worst accent ever. And blade there, that's always handy to have. Sorry, I'm back. I know this is really boring. So yeah, that's what I was looking for. Because then I can do these things. Now, I need to technically, if I want to do it all properly, I need to undo them. Because I need to polish them. But I'll be able to polish those without doing that. Pretty sure I will. So let's do I'm going to do the body first. Now there's loads of do's and don'ts. But I'm cleaning the guitar. Come on. That's what I'm doing. Loads of the spray. cleaning the body. I just want to get under the pickups. Once I've gone under the pickups, I can do the pickups back up again. Although, it could be, you know, the screws, I'll just do the tops of them. There doesn't seem to be much coming out of that. Oh, it's there. So yeah, I just do the areas with the pickups. So, I don't know, for a lot of people, this is going to be boring, but this is what I like doing. You know, and right now, it's a blessed distraction. My beloved, for those of you that know me and see my streams, my beloved little cat Mel, who's literally just barely coming up to 10 years old, or was about 10 years old, became very ill very, very suddenly, as in like over a day, because it looks like she may have ingested something toxic, and she ended up with renal failure, very sudden acute renal failure, and we had to have her put down. It was very horrible. So I'm going to start doing this once a week, or whenever I have the opportunity to repair a guitar and you know, give them a bit of love. Now the pickups need doing as well, so the annoying there goes the screwdriver. The annoying thing is to do these properly, really to do them properly, I'm gonna have to take the springs out and everything if I'm gonna really do these properly. So there we go. Because you can't do these things properly any other way, really, can you? Let's face it. And I can get some proper compound to make these pickups that at the moment are, let's face it, rather dull. And there you go. I was just waiting. It just doesn't feel like it wanted to drop there at all. So, and the good thing is I haven't had a copyright claim, because I've got Muse playing in the background, just in case you noticed it and wondered what I was listening to. I've become quite fond of Muse. Right, so I've got my blue cloth, which I use with the polishing compound. And I know a lot of people will use different things for gold and hardware as this. I will use, especially when it's tarnished, I will use Brasso. Now Brasso can be quite corrosive, and might do different things to your hardware. It may take a layer off the top, and there's nothing wrong with that, because what it leaves, look at that, compare that one to that one, and it's difficult to really see the difference, but you know, that is just night and day. Gorgeous. It's good enough for brass, it's good enough for these. Gets off all that tarnish. Leaves a little bit, just like using polishing compound, it'll leave a bit of the residue on there as you do it, and then you just use another cloth and buff that off. And just remember to put anything that might be toxic away afterwards, especially if you've got little ones around, little ones meaning children or animals. Lovely. Yeah, see, that's night and day, and that's not even polished yet. That's just me putting the compound on the pickup. I mean, that just makes a big difference. Now, I might have done this with my polishing machine. Very, very possible I might have used my polishing machine to do this. But, and this is probably still good for the frets as well. But the polishing machine obviously does it very, very quickly and gets right in there. And that's a big plus, obviously. Yeah, you got to finish. You got to do these before you do the before you do anything else really, because you want to put these parts all back in. So that's everything's been given a good once. So that's those bits have been given a good little once over. And then you want another cloth, same kind of cloth, to buff it out. Let's just leave that doing its thing. So let's just dry these off, and this is what will bring up the real shine. Oh, well, I mean, yeah, that's just a massive difference. Let's do it like that. That's better. Get all of that gunk and skin, years of skin build up all over this thing, honestly. And it does. That's what happens. That's the biggest thing that happens. So, again, if you're watching, please, you know, while we're live, you know, please at least say hello. You know, you don't feel you have to ask questions or anything, but at least say hello. Probably find it's just my wife. Oh, now look at that. I don't know if the camera can even show what a difference. Look, there you go. You can see the difference on that. Ooh, this is going to look so good. Now, I had a Black Beauty, Les Paul Black Beauty, the old BB King model, and I did all of this to that. I mean, I sold it, unfortunately. I'm sure I've got pictures of it somewhere. But what a gorgeous guitar that was. I kind of miss it, but I gave it all of this love. Oh, look at that pickup. That's just what a difference it makes. Been waiting to do this for a long time. It's one of those things, you know, it's one of those guitars that, you know, just I don't play very often. I'm not much of a Les Paul fan. I fell in love with this one though, it was very nice. So gorgeous, absolutely lovely. Thing is, I now can't remember which way the pickups were in. Now again, I think that is a preference, really. You know, with guitars, I want to kind of set it up more or less as it was. So I would imagine it's probably worth me double checking. Epiphone Les Paul Custom. Yeah, there we go. So how have I got this configured? Yeah, I've got it exactly as I would have expected. That's a good thing. Sometimes you can tell from how the cables have been set. So brilliant. Let's just get these a little bit of a polish. As I is being funny. Worth getting all the dust and grit out of it from years and years of people playing them. Certainly not, unfortunately, it's not years and years of me playing it. So that one's got to go on there. And we've got the other one over here somewhere. There it is. Springs are actually stuck in, apart from the one that's fallen on the floor. Make sure your area is clean. This is one thing I will definitely say, people. Keep your area clean. Because you might drop something. This is the problem that I have when I'm working in the garage, is I'll drop something and not be able to see where it dropped, where it fell, which is a real pain. Right, so the rest of that clean, we can do Ron, as in later Ron. Now for me, things like putting in little screws and stuff is really fiddly. So for me, this is probably going to be one of the hardest part of the entire thing. Get off of there, screw. Get out of there, screw. You bother me. Right. Let's see if we can get that down there. Okay, that's one. Oh, that's right. For a second there, I thought the music had gone off. Just the hi-fi going off, which I can press the button, turn it back on. I hope you can hear me okay, obviously, because there's obviously no one talking, because probably no one's watching this. So I'm talking to myself. I'm guessing, because I did do a sound check and everything sounded okay. Go on. Find the hole and catch, please, bite. There we are. Now, have I put that the right way around? I think so. Sometimes you just cannot tell. Loop. Yep. Right, there's the pickup. First one, anyway. Now that one was quite nice because they stuck in, but these ones are not going to do that. Now I know I need to do these screws as well. Actually, I really do. I can do those afterwards. Oh, I really do need to clean though, I would say. Now those would have definitely benefited from the polishing machine. Oh, there's a little. Oh no. Little channel there that I didn't see. Oh, don't want to lose that in the channel. Oh dear. Oh dear, here we go. So this is what my hands do. I drop everything and then everything goes wrong. There we go. Right. Right. Okay. See if we can get this. Oh, that appears to be roughly there. There we go. That's it. Got it right around. Yeah, does that well? Don't drop it, Austin. Go on. Yeah, it's not having that. Oh, there you go. That might be nearer the thing. There we go. Whoa. So yeah, so many things that we're going to do with this track. Sorry, I don't want to start concentrating. I just kind of, I got to remember we're doing a video here. Doing a little. Oh, I'm not making this. I am not making this easy for myself. This is for, like I say, for me. I think this is one of the hardest parts is these springs and pickups. Why they haven't come up with a better one? Now Jackson. Oh. Don't frustrate me today. I'm really not in the mood for that. Maybe I'm wearing the wrong glasses. Go on, bite. Do it. Got it. Yay! Right. Oh dear. That was a chore. I know what you're thinking. I really made a meal out of that one. I really did. Worst thing is not trying to make sure you don't scratch the pickup with a screwdriver. Right, so I don't know how high they're going to need to be. Obviously you don't want them too high because you don't want anything touching anything it shouldn't. Right, so we can put these, I mean, do we want to do these screws first? I mean it's going to be probably easier. I mean, it's probably not going to be much easier. Yeah, that could work doing it like that. I mean, they stick out, so it should be a... But that works. You know, you've got enough of the wet there, enough of the dry there. I mean, you've got tarnish all the way down it. I mean, short of putting on a full-on buffing machine, it's never going to get 100% clean. But this is just the way I do it. But anyway, yeah, one of the things, obviously, you know, some of the things I wanted to do on this channel is obviously doing mixing and stuff like that. And I think the last video I put up, proper video, was the blessing video, which is fantastic video. I've got a crack on here now. Fantastic song, sorry, not video. So I say, yeah, it was a fantastic video, it was great. I thought I did quite well, getting a very long process of editing into, I think, what was 42 or so minutes. So yeah, that was That was a long old video, without a doubt, but it was a very long process. We were looking at, you know, 35 plus hours of editing. It's funny how many 35s there were. I don't know if there was a significance to that. You know, 35 audio and video tracks to sync up when you didn't have, you had the master track, but you never got to hear what they were hearing. That's the thing, you had to literally just do what you had to do. So if you haven't seen that video, I really do recommend it. I think that's a different screw actually. I'm going to take that one out, I think. It seems like a slightly smaller one. It seems like it is, it doesn't necessarily mean it is. No, that definitely was a smaller one. See, it just goes to show that some screws... Oh, that's got a long way to go. Cool. There we go. Yeah, that definitely worked. Well, picks up the wrong screw there. Just goes in a bit further, that one. So there you go. So, you know, that is without a doubt way better. Gorgeous. Now, obviously, I've got to be careful here. So again, this is one of those times where I would polishing compound come out. I think so. I want to be careful of the bodywork. Should be fine on it, but you just don't know, yeah. So obviously, normally I would do this again on the buffing machine, being very careful because obviously you do not want to damage the finish on this. So put that one aside, and then one to take off the polish. Hard to know if it's making any difference on these ones really, because they are just posts. I think it is. I mean, this is my primary buffing cloth, so. And then my other cleaning cloth with my Mr. Jean. Always just a little bit on the finger, you know. Probably the best way to do it. Get around everything. There we go. Lovely. Get around everything. Make sure that you don't miss anything out. Just get around that. Get in the corner. Find a dry bit so that you can polish that bit off. I mean, we're going to give this a main thing after the main last going over anyway. Just want to get any dust and grit out. Now, one of the things you can use for doing things like that are wire brushes. There are many. For a lot of these things, you don't want to use anything more than a nylon, just to get anything loose out of areas. But that shouldn't be. Yeah, even the switch. I mean, that we're going to use. That feels fine, but we'll use a bit of switch lubricant in that anyway. You'll notice cloths come into this a lot. So, how long have we been going now? There's the timer. I have no idea where the timer is. The average views, we can't see how long we've been going for. I thought I was actually looking at a timer, but I must have removed it. Oh no, 40 minutes. So 40 minutes, but that's with me jabbering on. I mean, honestly, I get things like this when you're not pressing buttons or playing up to camera or anything like that. Yeah, that'll go, that's right. Just looking at a scratch, well, what I thought was a scratch. So, right, okay. So we'll get to the rest of the hardware in a minute. Let's just get myself a little extra room, because all of that, because we're on the main guitar at the moment, because this is obviously the main show. Let's face it. Let's get that out of the way. Mr. Sheen can stay where it is. All the hardware, screws and stuff. Trying to keep everything with everything, so I know where everything is. Now, this is the bit where I go, oh, I didn't bring in my Allen keys for doing truss rods, but I don't actually think there's anything wrong with the truss rod, to be honest with you. So I don't think we're going to have to do anything with that. Let's just... So we're just going to do, you know, but it's what you might call preventative maintenance, you know. Make sure that things are tightened, not super tight. You know, if this was a thumb screw, you know, literally that's what you'd be looking at, is just making sure that, come on, that they're kind of just as it bites is usually enough for these things, because you do not want them getting super tight. Yeah, because that's where you end up threading stuff and causing issues. Says as he does it himself. No, so that's just enough. It probably looked like I did before. Now we've done those screws up, because we can now do that, which is what we wanted to do. Now that one, you could lie straight down, but we've got the switch down there, so we have to be careful. So now we're looking at these. We're going to get our, we're going to find our screwdriver. It's around here somewhere. There it is. Never lose your tools, kids. And right, so just careful not to burr anything. You do not want to thread the tops like I keep doing. Now, this is only a Chinese one, but it's a lovely guitar, and it, you know, they always deserve, every guitar deserves a bit of TLC. And you don't want to tighten, again, you don't even want to tighten these up too much. See, so some of them are just surprisingly loose, just from over time, turning them. It's just what happens. Oh, that one's, okay, that's right. Just again, it's just got a slightly threaded top, but that's okay. So there you go. There you go. They feel nice. Now we're on these things. Don't worry about the polishing. So we want our compound cloth. Try not to mix these up. Oh, that was a fair bit. So yeah, so here we go. So we're going to try and do the best we can with these. Try and get them shiny, as we say. They're all at funny angles. Now this is going to go all over the paintwork, because there's no other way of doing this. But you know, short of taking them all off, and that's a long old job. This is just basic preventative maintenance. Now you might want to, you know, to get in these, you might want to put your cloth on a stick. And for the most part, I can get to everything. It's more about getting the compound on them, really. Once you've got the compound on them, you'll be using the polishing cloth to do the rest. I haven't done the other side yet. I've got to do the keys, the tops of the keys. Got to do all of the the round area, because these are Grover tuners. So they've got that round area, so we've got to do all the way around that on all 6 of them. Hey, well, it could be worse. There's another 12-string I've got to do at some point. Got a Yamaha 12-string guitar to do. Yay! If you're watching this post live and you want to see that one next, that's an acoustic guitar, not an electric. Please mark it down in the comments and I'll get to that one. But there are many guitars in here, all of which need this maintenance. They all need this good going over. I've got to do all these little grooves, turn the tune around, do the top of these mushroom tuners. And this, like I say, this is just putting a compound on. And hopefully you can see the difference between one side and the other. It's tricky, I know, very tricky, I know. Not helping me by doing that, that's for sure. Okay. Oh, we got a bit more mental muse. There we go, so that's that part of that. And we've got to polish all that rubbish off. Technically it doesn't take as long really, because you're polishing off. So you can be a bit more rough with this one as long as you get all the parts, because you don't want to leave any of the compound on them, because that's just dirty and horrible. But I probably should have done the wire brush stuff first. Technically, I should have done that one first. You'll see, you know, straight away, I mean, you can see the difference anyway. I mean, it's just... Once you've got the compound on, it's more or less done. Yeah. Wonder what I'm doing. If you can't hear the music, I'm singing along to that. Do apologise for my voice. Had COVID four times. I was about to say 5. I'm not speaking out of myself, and that's yeah, taking its toll on my breathing. That's for sure. Just try and get in there as much as we can. There we go. There we go, that's not bad. Not bad, not bad. Let's just get the edge of this cloth. There. That's right. Yeah. Getting everywhere. Oh yes. That's better. Yeah, they look like they should now. Oh, we flip it over again. Yeah, see, I mean, you can see the difference between tuning keys and the bolt and the tuning posts there. Very different. And this is going to be difficult really to do. I'm going to use the wire brush. Use the wire brush with that on it and do that. Oh, that unpacked itself rather quickly, so make sure. Oh yeah, that's doing quite well, that. Because what we're doing is getting the polishing compound on there, because the actual polishing happens from this bit. It's not going to be perfect by any means, but certainly better. See the way I'm hugging this guitar. And I'm looking forward to what this will be like. Well, we're not far off. I mean, I'd say we've been going for 50 minutes. 50 minutes! We haven't even done the fingerboard yet. And then we've got a final polish to do. And then we've got to tune it up and make sure it's set correctly. Right, I'm just gonna do the actual wipe the excess off of the headstock actually. This is going to be really boring for a lot of you. If you're not into guitars, I know you're just gonna just skip to the end. It's fine. You know, like I say, this is as much for me as it is for anyone else. So if you get bored as this is happening, it's fine. Now this will be really controversial. Now I like to get a silver or gold wire brush if I've got one. Ideally, because it's a little softer. Got a double-headed one. right? And I like to get the grit out of the neck, because one of my favourite bits of doing the guitar is when you get to, I lower down or something. I forgot I'd done that. There we go. That's where I'm supposed to be. I like to get a bit of oil on the neck. We're not at this point yet. Yes, this is a sock. But here you go, look. Raw rosewood oil. On a maple neck, I use lemon oil. On a rosewood neck, I use rosewood oil. Funny, it makes sense really. Now, wouldn't I use like some sort of squeezed maple oil? Yes, probably. But anyway, this is the bit that everybody hates, getting this crap out. Now, I like to go, when I'm not using the polishing machine, I like to go either side of the fret first, but with the softer gold brush, just to get grit out. Now, normally I would do this, then I would use a polishing machine to polish these frets up, but I'm going to use this brush, polishing compound. So you've got to be careful. The reason why I use this is because this has got a binding on it either side. So if I come over the edge, I could, if I use the wrong brush, look at this guitar, slide in like crazy. Should really cover my keyboard, which is right there, as you can see. There you go. Let's change it to this one so you can see what I'm doing. There you go. Way for the different angle. So I know I'm streaming to no one, so one viewer, and that's probably just my screen showing me what I'm doing. If I turn that off, it'll probably keep on going, and I'll never know who it is. Right. So yeah, I've done that. So then that's cleaned out underneath the frets, and then I like to do this all the way over the fingerboard, and this will even up everything. So use the lighter one first. Let's give it a quick, let's just get rid of that. Give it a quick. I don't want to get the polishing compound on it. Now I'm going to use the silver one and get right into the grain of the wood, and you can see the wood. Sometimes some of bits get darker, other bits don't. Other bits get lighter because they're being scratched. That's fine. But what this is doing, this is instantly polishing up the frets. You know. Then I use the soft one again. Do kind of some circular motions. Now you notice I'm going like that now. I'm going across like that, and then I'm kind of doing circular motions because what that'll do is it will get rid of any fine scratches that I may have put and probably have put on the guys. Move her into shot, and then just get that on there. Get that on there. That's all good. And then my trusty sock. Why the sock, I wonder? Well, because I can put it on my hand and it won't slip off while I'm cleaning it. So let's get that. There we go. And we just lightly massage that. Might be a couple of frets lifting. I have to check on that. But it might be just some edges. So this may need some. There may be some fret dressing needed at some point. But I'm not gonna strain over it. Now I definitely haven't done this on this guitar. But the smell is so gorgeous. If only you could smell the rosewood. So if you know the smell of rosewood, raw rosewood oil, this makes the guitar look. I mean, look at that. That just looks absolutely beautiful now. So let's just wipe any excess off the edge. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Now I am going to get my compounded cloth. I'm just going to see if I do that on one fret. Maybe do it on a couple of frets. And then get my dry cloth. And I get Oh yeah. Now I get my frets super shiny when I use my block of polishing compound and the machine. It's just absolutely a mega. It really is. The results are just fantastic. So I'm going to do this because it seems such a shame to have everything else shiny. And then not the frets. Hopefully I haven't. So when you do this, it's difficult to know if you've missed any. So my aim is to actually finish this stream and have enough time to play the guitar properly, but I don't know. I'm trying desperately not to get this stuff on the neck, but it's impossible. Right, so that's that. Now we'll just go all the way up and dry that polishing compound off. Now it's definitely working. Yeah, sorry, that's definitely working. I'm sorry, I've gone silent because I'm really concentrating. I'm really looking at the neck and seeing how it's doing, but you can see it's definitely getting off. You know, you can see those black marks were not on this cloth earlier on, so they're definitely cleaning up nicely. Probably go over the neck one more time just to be 100% sure that everything is cleaning up nice. But yeah, that's doing the trick, I think. Lovely. Shiny frets. I mean, when we do the once over clean anyway. There we go, do that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's... Oh, that's better. Definitely. It's good. Right, so put that to one side. Hopefully that's not going to go anywhere. We need to have a look at the hardware. This is where it all gets really irritating and fiddly, and hopefully we'll be able to do them up all right. So get some more polishing compound. Certainly not. Oh, get it everywhere. It smells like spirits at the moment, but I think it's thinned out quite a bit. Let's put this here, because then each piece we can put on there. Lovely. And obviously over the top. Oh yeah, that's good. See, with the Tune-O-Matic bridge, it's always a tricky one, but it's certainly getting there. Give it as much of a clean as we possibly can. Yeah. That's going to come out alright, I think. But we'll come back to that. Let's just make sure I do the same things on these. Right, oh, we've got one post. Oh, there they are. See, the screw posts are a bit of a pain because they haven't got much surface area, so... And then sometimes as well they're ever so slightly I don't know what the word is. They're scuffed, bent where people have been screwing them in with a screwdriver. Sometimes too small, and if it's too small, that's what's going to happen. You're gonna burr the end, and then just when you do this, obviously it catches the cloth. So that's that. Then the bridge itself. I mean, right, before I do anything, I don't know if you're going to be able to tell. Right, there you go. Yeah, so you can see what that's like. Right, here we go. Perfect song for this. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. Once this polishing compound is on here and you buff it off, it is going to look like a completely new part. There we go. Yeah. See, I've done this similar stuff on slightly cheaper guitars. One that I did not long ago is a slightly cheaper guitar. Had gold hardware, gold pickups, everything like that. They were mostly being changed. But what was going on was the tarnish that was the gold that was gold, started to turn a kind of almost like it was going into a white gold, because the yellow gold side of it was starting to disappear. And there's quite a horrible bleached spot on this, which may or may not come off, which is a bit of a shame, but we'll get back to that. Right, now this is the trickier one, the actual bridge itself, because they are fiddly and they've usually got springs and bits on them, so you can't probably won't get all of the tarnish off, because, well, it's not so much the tarnish, to be honest. It's there's this browning which might not actually be tarnished. It's almost like it wants to come off. It's this side I find the most difficult, because as you do it, you're adjusting the springs and the strings. Some guitars have springs on this under this side, which stops them from moving, but they do. So don't worry too much. You're going to adjust them later anyway. Oh, I'm looking up. I can't look at the camera from here. Yeah, you can see that browning under this one as well. Make sure I've got enough of the... Definitely plenty on that one. Oopsie. Probably too much. And then you've got these backing bits here, and you can't really clean them properly. Really difficult. So, I mean, it looks like this brown's coming off. It does definitely look like it. Now that buffer machine, yeah, that'd do it straight away. Yeah, that is coming off. Yeah, that's what's annoying, is that the machine. So you can see it there. If you look, fucking that browning. You see that browning? It won't focus because I've got it set. When you look at the other side, it's coming off. So that's where the gold is actually. I don't know if that's dirt or if the gold's actually coming off. The dirt there, is there dirt coming off? See, the other side seems to start cleaning up, but this side, not so much. But this is probably because that's because this is where your hand is resting, so it's gonna get really yuck. But that's what happens. That is what happens. So, you know, so you kind of have to get used to it. Now, what we can do is get the. I don't really want to use the wire brush, but let's just. Use it lightly. It's kind of. Could be able to do that, and maybe a little bit on the other side. Alright, okay. Not doing anything, but it's not necessarily definitely doing something. I don't know, I think I might have actually done a good little job there. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's pretty good. Right, okay, well let's come back to that. Let's just clean off all the other bits as best we can. So lovely. So it's the mirror finish you want. It's the mirror finish. Once you've got the mirror finish, you should be okay. Beautiful. So again, if you are watching and you're watching while it's live, please say hello in the chat. Don't leave me all on my own. Yeah, it's yeah. I'm sorry. It's going to be a boring stream. Skip to the end. Come on, you know you want to. Alright, so here you go. So this is polished up. Remember what that was looking like? Just get that. I mean, yeah, that's a kind of that's a bigger difference. It's a good point. I've heard that apparently the Mario Brothers, the new Mario Brothers movie with Chris Pratt as the voice of Mario, considering the original voice creator for Mario is still alive. What's his name? Martino something or other, or something Martinson or something. He's still alive. Why why? If it's animated, why aren't you using him? Don't get it. No, that looks like I missed a side. Did I? Did I miss a side? Come on. Come on, Austin. What do you like? Can't miss that side. Better, huh? Yeah, that's better. That spot's kind of disappeared now. Fantastic. So, hello there. If you're watching, say hello. And right now we are doing a. Oh, I'm on to. We are cleaning a Gibson, Epiphone, sorry, by Gibson, Les Paul Custom. And I'm literally, that's all I'm doing. I'm cleaning guitar. Cleaning my guitar and then see if we can get it to sound and play like it should. Not to make it sound and play better, but at least better, you know. So it is better. Yeah, it is better. That is what we want. So right now we've done most of the guitar. We are now doing the actual the hardware, which is the worst part to do completely, because the parts are small, fiddly, and likely to be lost, especially if they hit the floor. So I'm going to use a brush, just a gold brush, just to get any clogged muck out of that. There you go. Just definitely some muck there. It's probably really noisy, me doing that right against myself. Yeah, so this bridge is certainly fairly used and tarnished, but you know, once the strings are on it, probably won't even notice it. Right. Okay, so yeah, that was always going to be the problem piece for me, would be the bridge anyway. So, right, let's have a look now. Need this. If you can hear things coming from my neighbours, I do apologise. Slams and things sometimes. That means that one of them is just the husband has come home after his day at work, and usually his day at work usually involves him bringing stuff home, so he'll be putting them down the side of the house ready to be either thrown away or reused. on different jobs, as you do. I mean, you can't just throw stuff away nowadays. Pays to be a hoarder, definitely. Like me, the amount of computer parts and stuff that I keep hold of, honestly, is ridiculous. There we go. All those bits to be shiny, shiny. We can put that back on the guitar now. So let's get rid of all of these polishing doohickeys and stuff like that. We'll keep the oil out, but I would like to put the lid on because I know it's a big bottle, but I still don't want it drying out. Okay. Ugh. Like I said, I'm not going to adjust the neck. I don't think we need to be honest with you. Right, I can stay over there. Right, guitar. Oh yeah, we haven't done the. Got to do these. Let's do the. Sorry, I know. We thought we were almost there at the finish line, and then you spotted something else. The head pins, strap pins, need a bit of a. And they don't even look gold, to be honest with you. But then they, over the years, they get a lot of abuse. So, get the bottom one. Oh yeah, and the. Well, that's not gold anyway. That one. There's not really much compound left on these, so it's going to be a very just basic kind of. Basic kind of clean on that one. Right, where were we? So let's get this. Put the guitar back. There it is. Right. Let's try and do. Doesn't have to be super tight, that does it? Right, okay, let's get you back in there. Doesn't even want to go in the hole. There we are. Headphones over there. There we go. We can come back to the actual screw. That's just balanced in there. That headphone is right in the way. Okay, brilliant. So let's get the stop tailpiece ending in. Just thinking, yeah, I mean that's the thing. I probably haven't. If you are new and you've never done any of this stuff before, these two parts are part of the Les Paul. Here we go. These two parts are what's known as the Tune-o-matic bridge for a Les Paul. Right. This is the tailpiece. This is the saddle piece. Right. Now a lot of people actually have them like that and they screw them like that, but it can be really difficult to get to the screws because they come right down over. So in a lot of ways that's actually the best way to have it. But let's just have a look, and we're going to do a basic kind of how I feel these are actually best set up. Now the highest string, because it's the highest notes, is usually furthest towards here. It's different on different guitars, okay? So what I do, I know where I've been cleaning it, these would have moved a lot. So who always decides to have flat-headed screws, but they've always been on this guitar. Flat-headed screws, always. Now we'll bring this one up. About the same. Low strings usually, I'd say that's probably about right. So let's get the posts in. Right, and we're not going to know what's good for the height of the strings until we've got the strings on there, obviously. For those of you that are like, yeah, well that's obvious, isn't it? Well, of course it is. So let's put that on there. So keeping our buffing off cloth just to tidy it up now and then. that a scratch there? Or is that something that buffs out? Will that polish out? Nothing worse than scratches on a guitar. Yeah, so that needs to be tightened up for sure. I don't want it rattling. Rattling no good. Right, now I'm gonna start putting everything back. These, if they're crunchy, I can do those from the other side. So I'm sitting there. I want the 10 facing me, so that I know it's full when they're facing me. Try and get them more or less the same. Oh, that didn't sound good at all. No, it didn't. I have got spares. Alright, we'll come back to that one. I knew one of them was a bit weird. Well, it seems okay at the moment. That was controllable. Alright, that's right. You can see it from the top, but that's okay. We can come back to those. What an idiot. So there you go, that's something that went wrong. Something was always going to go wrong. Like I say, I'm not thinking that at any point I'm going to need to adjust the neck. But what I'll do is I'll keep the truss cover off just in case. Hey, just in case. Right, stringing up. Hooray! The fun part. Where we actually get to do something. So, Darios, these are the ones I use. Let's show you what I use. It's almost like ad break time. So, Dario, XL123D, like those, the nickel wound, not the gauge 9 to 42s. So 42 on the thickest string. Right. So we'll start with the thickest strings, just because. Just then it will hold the bridge in, because the bridge, as you know, will be a slippery little feather. Just get all the strings. So this is another thing I like to do, get all the strings actually in. Now I've got a funny way of remembering on the Dario strings. You may know, sorry, not remember, because no one's told you anything at this point. The ball ends, which are the bits on the end of the strings, are different colours, for ease of remembering them. But so I remember what order those colours go in, other than the fact that the strings are different thicknesses, is silver, purple, green, from thinnest to thickest, then black, red and gold. Gold one being the bottom string. So what I do is, to remember that, I've always gone for British sitcoms. So the hamster in the old British sitcom The Young Ones, starring Ade Evanson and the late great, forgotten his name because he's that good, Rick Mail. Honestly, what's my brain like? But so the hamster's called SPG, silver, purple, green, and then Blackadder for the black string, Red Dwarf for the red string, and Bottom for the bottom string. So SPG, Blackadder, Red Dwarf, Bottom. That's how I remembered what they were. Sad, but true. Which, by the way, is a good song. So here we go. Now here's the other thing that I do that everybody either questions me on. Right? I do not go into the hole. I go around a couple of times first. Reason being, because then the string, especially the small strings, the thinner strings, do not go around a sharp kink and then end up breaking. Just seems silly to me. And I make sure the string goes on from top to bottom. Okay. Reason for that is then the string will be pulled down as far down off of the nut as possible, and that will, well, that will help. Oh. Always done it, and I put quite a bit of string on here, and people again would say, you put a lot of string at the top. Well, especially with, I got used to doing that from locking nut tuners, and once I started doing that, when I got a break down here at the bridge, it meant that I could pull it through, loosen it, pull it through, and we continue to use the string. It's very, very handy. Well, I'll still do it on this, I know, and that can mean that they could slip a bit. That's why I make sure I stretch the strings. So obviously pushing down, so it makes the wind going down. Now obviously we've got the strings super low at the moment, so this will be nowhere near. Cutting the strings already? Yep. Not going to need them. I know what's going on here. 1 centimetre or so off there, that's all I need. Now I'm going to say all of this and then I'm going to end up breaking the string. I'm not saying that this is the absolute and definitive perfect way. None of what I do, the way I do it is. But it was worked for me for years. Oops. That's the only problem with doing it this way, is that sometimes you get a string, what I call a string ping. These ones are always sort of touch and go as to whether you can get the string to do the top to bottom thing and not get them all twisted up. But it's just a case of do what you can and can what you do. Now they are probably super way too high at the moment, but it's okay. I'll deal with all of that. E string that's wanting to get in the wrong way. 2, 3. That's usually what I do with the high strings. 3 winds. 2 on the thickest. 2 on the thickest 2. And then 3 on everything else. And yeah. Sorry, that's taking me a bit longer because I would normally have. That sounds stupid. I'd normally have a headlamp on my head, so I could see better. Nearly there, nearly there. 1, 2, 3. Really only need 3. I know this is, again, I've said this a million times on this stream, and maybe I should just do this as a video with playlist points. But the whole point is that each time I do a guitar, it's going to be different. Might be different from the last one, and someone might be like, "Oh, I've got a guitar that's got that same bridge, and I always have trouble doing X," or you know, and then I can say, well, this is not necessarily the way. There is no way. All right, there are preferred ways of doing things, and I'm purely, everything I'm doing is purely from my preferred way of doing things. So you may get a book and it may tell you something completely different. Okay? Certainly most books would not tell you to cut these strings at this point. But if they're slipping, if they're going to slip that much, you've really done it wrong. You know, if they're going to slip so much, you've just done it completely wrong. So, right, so polishing compound, don't really need that now. Get it right away, there it goes. Right, don't need the clippers. String winder, don't need that. Spanner, don't need that. Screwdriver, might need that if we've got crunchy pots, then might need to open the back up. But yeah, look at the difference between that. Now I am starting to wonder whether I should have it back the other way round. Because he's tilting the pickup. I think I've done that the wrong way round actually. I think it should have been thicker here. Okay. Well, it's not necessarily a it's not a stackable event.
Revenge will surely
There you go. Right. Seriously. So again, batteries. So you probably missed an awful lot of what I said. So there you go. Sorry about that. Yay, professional. So gonna have some stretching to do. Sweaty, that's for sure. Just got to be so careful. I don't know not my own strength. Okay, so right. Okay, so Lavalier. Oh, that comes under Lavalier, does it? How thick? Okay, so yeah. Okay, so let's try that. I'll put that all the way up. I don't know what that's going to sound like. If it's going to sound any good, I apologise instantly. So batteries, people, batteries. Right. Anyway, I was tuning this up. So one of the things I was saying was about mostly Les Pauls might be set up with 10s, 10 to 46s. So now we're gonna do low E, make sure it's as in tune overall as possible. Then look at where that is. I can't film that for you, stretch it a bit. That's within plus 3 to 5 cents. Just to the edge of that one. Same with that one, could be a bit sharper. It's alright. Not a lot in it. One's alright. So not a lot in it. Always the G. So it's quite low. Now it's definitely one thing. Now I think I can cope with that where it is, but one thing we do need to do is lift this pickup Now the action's not definitely, the string height is definitely not right yet. So we're not finished yet, but we are approaching the finish line. Let's see if we can get a copyright suggestion. The audio streams current bitrate slower than, oh, whatever, it's fine. Let's see if we can get a let's just stop it from saying anything. Don't need that. That's what we need. There we go. Analytics, right. So let's see if we can get it to see if we can get the string to moan. No data. Why is it saying no data? That's strange. I start playing that and it says no data. Weird. I wonder, is that because of copyright? Do you think? Should we try it again? Let's see if it does it again. It doesn't look like it's going to now. No whammy bar at that point. That's going to be loud. Something weird with the sound. Okay. Right. Well, the one thing I haven't been doing, haven't really been checking the action, which is, now you can hear it. I have it really. Ta-da. I have choking distance. Now that shows that you've got a note choking. So, because that's choking slightly, that means we do have to lift that string, the string height up, because that is choking far too much. Magnetic at the bottom of my mouse. Okay, so yeah, we have to lift up the bridge ever so slightly, because it is choking. Now there will be a slight detune because of that, because there always is. Now low strings seems alright. In fact, the low strings feel like I could. The low strings feel like I could actually lower them slightly. which, you know, I mean, do I need to? It didn't feel like I... So there's definitely a, again, definitely a choke there. Sorry, because I've got this chair up a bit higher. Okay, so I don't know, at the moment I don't know what you're hearing because there's not really anybody in here. So, like I say, first stream for a while. I've been repairing this guitar and doing it up, and it's, yeah, it's coming out rather nice. Now, I don't know what it sounds like because I'm now using this rather than this. In the future, I'll be running it through the desk that's behind me under the covers. But, you know, we'll work on these things. I'll probably sound a bit distant right now because I had to turn this microphone here on last second, so you're not going to see anything. Not going to see anything different on the on this one. Hello. So I've got a different mic up there, which you probably won't get to see. So I've slammed the guitar a little bit during this little bit of a test. Could do with getting some pencil, a bit of graphite from a pencil and putting it in a nut. Helps the strings slip. So I can see someone else has joined us, but you know, feel free, say hello in the chat. It would be nice to have somebody there. Still needs a bit of finesse. Always that E string. B string, sorry. Quite happy. Doesn't need much of an adjustment. Yep. Okay. Probably no. I don't want to hit the looper. And probably flux. Yeah. Hit the looper. I'll tell you what, I'm getting to a point where playing this way round will be way better. Oh, we're still on the looper. Go away, looper. I don't want you. Thank you. I don't know what that's all about. What on earth is going on? Whoa! Oh, right. Pedals you find that they've always got more overdrive than anything else. What is that about? Very strange. Okay, alright, well, that's where we're at, I suppose. Definitely got that low end, but obviously because I'm using the thinner strings, because I'm using the 9 to 42 gauge on a Les Paul, you're not going to get that same bottom end. And plus you can hear it, but plus I've got my speaker set up weird, and you're not even hearing it properly anyway. Completely wrong, didn't I? Okay. Okay. That's my bigger, heavier gated sound. Be better off. No. Camera angles, hashtag camera angles. There you go. Sounds ducked. That's the weird thing. Okay, well there you go. I'm kind of happy with that. I mean, are there some areas that could be improved? Probably. I mean, some stretchy strings. I mean, it's the particulars of getting the guitar kind of right. We're there now. Don't need to do anything else with the actual setup. And if I end up doing I mean, I've done loads on this stream, so like I say, if you skip to the end, thanks for at least coming in and having a listen. So I know we got I know we had a few people looking, so that's really cool. And then looking at the tuning, that one's within 5. That one's a bit sharp. That one could... That's good, that's fine. Look at where the string settles. The note's the same. That one sounds too sharp to start with anyway. Pretty much where it needs to be. Probably do with a tad, just a titty little bit. Just a tad. I think I do have to sit like this though, for some reason. So yeah, if you've got to the end of this, I mean, what are we, hour and a half now? 2 hours I've been going. So that's how long it's taken me to get the guitar this far. Without talking and stuff, probably would have taken half the time, maybe even less, because I do power into them. When I'm in the garage, I've got so much more space and tools available to me. Plus, I'm sweating my butt off in here. It's very hot. This computer blows so much air out of the fan, the exhaust fan here, right away across the computer, and that's where I've been the whole time. So it gets quite hot there. Should have opened a window, but hey, hindsight is a wonderful thing. So yeah, give us an idea. You can, if I just go around, you can see some of the guitars on there, basses as well. You can see there's a Jackson Randy Rhodes there. We've got a Yamaha B5 bass with LEDs. Got a Washburn, something or other. There's a blue, baby blue Strat there. It's a Japanese Squire, but it's one of the good ones. Tangled acoustic, definitely going to do that. The J423 there, which is a Jackson Charvel Model 6, that's got some big issues. That's got a overbow in the neck, which is going to be really, really hard to get out. I've tried it before I even put all that together. You'd see that on my Facebook page. We've got the Spirit, which I can't even remember what it's called now, but it's the Spirit Duo Deluxe or whatever it's called. JS100. Joe Satriani Ibanez model there. Like I say, the JS32 Randy Rhodes. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you. There's Washburn. It's Peacemaker 1 by Tanglewood there. Great guitar. You can see it again there. Got a J423A, which is the acoustic version. That's actually a Jim Harley Colorado. And over there we've got a PV Wolfgang. Absolutely wonderful guitar. So if you've got to the end of this video and there's any of those specifically, get the right camera, any of those specifically that you'd like to see me work up. Oh, blimey, I haven't even worked. What about these ones? Got a Fender Telecaster. That is a Fender Telecaster there. We've got a Jackson Adrian Smith model with a Laurel board. Got Jackson Dinky, DK something or other. Got a Rockstar, really old guitar with the dragons on it, quite funny. Got a Charvel, it's a 270B model. Go Down, which is a kind of Summit and Applause mix over, the only one that exists. Her name is Rosa, but we'll get into that on a separate video. But if you want to see her, just shout out. Jackson Soloist, SL3, I think it is. I don't know. And then a Rockwood LX250G, which is by Hohner, which is my first Les Paul shape that I ever had. And then obviously you've got this one. Obviously one of the other things you probably saw in the background, with that one in the corner, top right corner, you can see it's a Yamaha acoustic. That's the silent. Before we do anything, silent. See my other videos on that one. I'm not even going there. No, just not doing it. But anyway, there you go. So anyway, if you've stood this video, if you want to see any of those guitars being done, let me know. We won't mention the stick over there, the 10-string rail board. I forgot about that one. And there's a Zenta, my first guitar that I ever had when I was 16 or so. It's in the garage in pieces at the moment. I'll show you, but it's for some reason my garage cam, all my outside cameras won't come up on OBS anymore. I don't know. Go figure. Thanks for watching. I think that's about it, I think. Switch is still a bit funky. That's the thing with these. Got a bunch of spares in the shed. That's better. It's just really sensitive when you... It's where it needs to be. Is that? Anyway, thanks for watching, if you did. This is Austin Purity Music signing off. If I can find the off switch. Catch you next time with the new guitar.